Call the meeting of the Bay County Board of Commissioners to order Tuesday, July 16th, 2024, 4 p.m. Commission Chambers, 4th floor of the Bay County Building. Roll call, please.
Nemec.
Here.
Benajak.
Present.
Millet.
Here.
Herrick.
Here.
Radke. Here. Bickett.
Here. Please rise for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Lord, we come before you this afternoon asking once again that you bless this session of the County Commission, be with this board this day and guide them so that the decisions were made today and always will benefit every citizen of the community. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have the minutes from 6/18/24.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to add resolution number 2024-118 golf course food service contract and resolution number 2024-119 Bay County Clerk, elections coordinator, hired at a 3-year rate of $27.65.
Support. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Citizen inputs.
Agenda approval. Agenda approval.
Oh, yeah. Let's approve the agenda. I guess that was just to add the item, so we need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Support. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we can have citizen input. If you want to step forward, have up to 5 minutes. If you want to sign in, you can, or at least state your name.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Daniel Martin. I have applied for the open position on the commission. A little bit about myself. I've been a lifelong resident of Bay County. The only time I didn't live here is when I was in the U.S. Army, so I am a veteran. Currently employed by the county, so I've been serving the county for over 26 years. And I think I'm just looking to continue and research other avenues to continue to serve the citizens of Bay County. I've always been serving something, like I said, being part of the U.S. military taught me a lot of values, ethics, morals, and I believe I've carried that with me my entire life. Raised a family in Bay County. I have no intentions on leaving Bay County. I think it's a great place to live. I see where Bay County is going and growing, and I'd like to be a part of that and to continue that Bay County moves forward. That's all I got.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Okay, I have cards for everyone to pass around, so I'm going to I didn't know how many people were going to be here. Wow, there's a lot of you. Okay. Hi, my name is Brittany. I am currently the American Royal Beauties Miss Michigan. I wanted to stop in and introduce myself. I grew up in Bay County. I went to school at John Glenn, and I graduated in 2016. I then moved on to complete my bachelor's in marketing from Saginaw Valley State University in 2021, where then I became the pageant specialist at Viper Apparel, and I have been doing pageants for quite a long time, but this is my first state title, so I'm very excited to not only represent Bay County and Bay City as a whole when I go to the national competition, but Michigan altogether as the state representative. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of background in terms of my platform, what is next and upcoming for me. So I advocate for domestic violence survivors as well as the importance of mental health, and I also do a lot of background stuff in the community. So just last week, I went and donated a couple goodie bags to the Bay County Sheriff's Department, the fire departments all across the area. And then too, I will be heading to the national competition in 2 weeks. So the end of July, I will be in Cincinnati, Ohio for a full week of competition, where I will be hopefully coming home as your American Royal Beauties National Miss. So I just wanted to formally introduce myself. Again, my name's Brittany. You guys will all have a card. Keep in touch, keep in contact. I will keep you guys posted on the outcome of nationals, but I just wanted to stop in and say hello. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak?
Here's my remarks again. Thought I had a joiner, but I guess not. You ditched me. Chairman Begich, Executive Barsha, esteemed members of the commission and staff, I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak today, and again for always being so welcoming, for having my children here in the chambers. I'm Caitlin Day, and today I'm here to speak in support of my friend and colleague Megan Saman, who has applied for the District 7 appointment. Sorry, mom duty. In these times of intense political divide, it's crucial that we support our leaders who are willing to bridge the gap between opposing sides. As a loud and proud Democrat who is here today supporting a Republican, I can promise you that I wholeheartedly support Megan and believe that she is one such leader. As the president of the Bay Chamber, Megan has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to our community. Her professional position gives her an unmatched view of the intricacies that exist within our broadly diverse community. Her ability to collaborate effectively with individuals from all walks of life, regardless of political affiliation, speaks volumes about her character and dedication. Sorry, we're having some adjustments up here. In a world where political differences often lead to stagnation and gridlock, Megan's approach stands out as a beacon of hope and would benefit both sides of the commission here and ultimately benefiting our greater community. Her track record of fostering positive relationships and working tirelessly to achieve common goals showcases her as a true unifier. Megan understands the wants, needs, and desires of Bay County residents, and she is dedicated to finding practical solutions that benefit everyone. Megan and I attended the Henry Marsh Institute for Public Policy together, and I can honestly tell you that she brings a fresh perspective to the table, but more importantly, she brings a willingness to listen and to understand and to always act in the best interests of all. Her civility, respect for differing viewpoints, and commitment to constructive dialogue are qualities that are sorely needed in today's political landscape. I endorse Megan because of her proven ability to cross the aisle and work collaboratively for the greater good. Sorry again. Yeah, and it's time that we prioritize leaders who put our community first, who seek common ground, and who are dedicated to making Bay County a better place for all. So I urge this commission to vote in the affirmative for Megan Saman today. Thank you, and I will take my 70-pound weight here back.
Thank you.
Oh, we lost it. Hold on, Diddy. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I don't know if I can top that, but I am Megan Saman, and I'd say I was excited to put my name in, but that would be the case because obviously there's a vacancy because we lost a dear friend. However, as a resident of Hampton Township and as a former resident of Merritt Township, I've lived in both the districts, and as an 18-year member of Rotary, service above self has always been our motto, and it's something that I've lived by. And so when a vacancy became available, it was something that I was very interested to help in the short term to allow those who are interested to put together a full campaign and then allow the voters a choice to see who serves the next full term. If selected, please know that I would work dutifully to support the residents and everyone in our Bay County area, as well as we know these implications are larger. I I've been involved as a volunteer for over 20 years. 15 years ago, we started the Young Professionals Network, which I co-founded and was the original chair on. So I've been working on retention and attraction of young professionals for over 15 years, and for that I'm very proud of, and even am working to get my children involved and engaged at a young age. My son Cameron has been volunteering, and even my two littles, Mackenzie and Carter, can be seen in our community lending some time to different civic organizations. So I just want to say thank you. I want to thank the other candidates who put their name in, because ultimately this is a servant position and we have an amazing community, and I look forward to working with you regardless of the outcome. Thank you.
I had already signed in. Brad Eddy, 1890 South Huron Road. I am a candidate for Calcallan Township Supervisor. My slogan, morals matter. We have a great divide within our Republican Party of Bay County, as I know many of the commissioners who are here right now know. We have much trickery that happens within our township. Most people say it's the wild, wild west of Bay County. Rules, what are they? Who do they apply to? Well, when I'm the supervisor, they will apply. The problem that I have is we have people within our own party that we'd like to support and see support all candidates. But sometimes that trickery even comes at the county level. So we have some people in the Republican Party who seem to do behind the scenes attacks on other Republicans. I thought this was going to be a race to let the people decide. Now you wonder who those select party members are working for. It's time for the truth to come out. What do you think, Mr. Banzak? Well, our zoning administrator in Calcallan Township, he don't show up to meetings. He hasn't been to a meeting I know of in 2 years. And when I say that, I'm talking planning commission meetings or board of trustee meetings. He even told me himself, this is due to doing favors for the supervisor. I have a problem with favors in government. I don't believe they belong here. That is why I'm running. I've even went to a certain commissioner and explained to him, we have problems with fraud within our government. Zoning. I've sat in the GIS department here with the new GIS director. I've showed him the fraud that's happened. I've showed him how people's properties have changed without them knowing. This is disheartening because it's happened to 3 widows that I know. Widows should be looked after and cared for. I went to this commissioner multiple times to tell him we need to sit and talk about it. But instead,
I'll ask you not to address the commissioner. Address me, please, not the commissioner.
yes, Mr. Chair. So, Mr. Chair, there's problems within this county building that I have uncovered. And I'm sorry that I would be embarrassed of this issue too. This has happened in the Register of Deeds with the moving of monuments. That changes deeds. It's changed them on my family, my mother-in-law, and even the widowed Pat Paget, whose husband is iconic to our township. So the person running against me spoke with me last Monday night at the township meeting. He asked me to go outside for a couple minutes, an hour and 16 minutes into the meeting. And then he proceeded to tell me how he was related to the Commissioner Banzak, Mr. Begic. So how did he get his signs in certain places? Well, if you were to look at the places he has, the zoning administrator works for Frankenmuth Credit Union. He runs a repo lot. Well, there's a reverend that's a part of our committee, from the Republican committee. There's a member that's a part of my Republican membership committee, as I am the chair. So I've noticed the Republican Party is split. You all know that. It's split up. I mean, I'm looking to unite people, and there is a serious divide. And I would like to know what it takes to divide and bridge, just like you guys are trying to do with all of those people. Even Mr. Mike Lutz came to the Republican Party and explained how he went from a Democrat to a Republican and let us know his views. I support him. 1 minute. And what I'm trying to do here is make sure that everybody knows that favors should not be in our government. It is not trustworthy. It does not create trust in any level of government, local, county, anywhere. But I have seen it done. I've seen it to my family. I have heard many people tell me about Mr. Banaszak talking about me with lawsuits. The lawsuits that my family was a part of were because of fraud that happened in this county building, to my widowed mother. Property taken from her. So these lawsuits, they were justified. They came after my family. And I'm going to tell you what, anybody comes after a widow, I'm going to be in the way.
Thank you. Any more comments? Any more public comments? One last chance. Closing public comment at this time. We have Raymond Robson with a report for us.
Motion received.
Support.
Discussion. Would you like to give us a little discussion?
He's going to give
I said little.
report, I know. Little? I thought we were just receiving it.
We got to have some discussion.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Doug Dieter with Rehmann. We performed the audit for the county for December 31st, 2023. And what you have on the screen is in front of you is just a quick summary of the audit results. I think each of you probably received each of the audit reports. On these slides in the top left corner, there is a reference to a page number in the audit report that if you're looking for additional detail or information, you can find it on that page in the audit report. So we issued what's called an unmodified opinion on the financial statements. It's the highest level of assurance independent auditors can provide. It means financial statements are fairly presented in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. So the same opinion the county has received over the years. This one's a little hard to see on the screen if you're not sitting too close, but this slide looks at the general fund, the main operating fund of the county, and all of its assets and liabilities and fund balance as of December 31st, 2023. So you can see the first section, total assets of $30.7 million. That is made up of mostly cash and investments that saw about a $4 million increase from the prior year, and we'll see why on the next page. There's some receivables, so due from the state, the federal government, that type of thing, about $6.4 million, and then some other assets of just under $3 million. So the liability section, total liabilities of $6.9. This is made up of the normal trade accounts payable, so things that the county received prior to year end that wasn't paid until subsequent to year end, about $572,000. Other liabilities is $6.4 million. This is your accrued payroll. It is unearned revenues, so you get some grant funds ahead of time that if you haven't spent it yet, it doesn't go to revenue, so it's considered a liability until the allowable expenditures happen. The bottom section, the fund balances. So the fund balance at the end of the year, so this is the difference between your assets and liabilities, or equity if you're in the for-profit commercial industry. Your fund balance is $22.6 million. That's broken into the 5 different categories you see there. The largest being committed. So the county has committed a portion of the fund balance for what they call budget stabilization to ensure the budget can be balanced in the future. The assigned amount of $4.5 million, that's assigned for some general county services, which is just where the money is expected to go towards, but nothing requiring it to go there. And then the largest portion of the bottom line there is unassigned of $9.9 million. So this is kind of what hasn't been given an assignment yet as of year end that can be used going forward for the county. Next page looks at the revenue and the transfers in for the general fund, and this is for the year ended December 31st, 2023. At the bottom, there's the 2023 final budget, so the county adopts a budget before the year starts. Amendments happen throughout the year to get to the final amended budget that you see here. The next column is what actually happened, what revenues the county actually received for 2023. And then the far right column is the actual amounts for 2022 to kind of give you a comparison of where you stand from last year to this year. So you can see that the county had budgeted $41.9 million in total revenues. and the actual revenues came in at 45.4. So a couple of large variances there between budget and actual. Property taxes are about $1 million over what you had expected, and about $1 million over 2022 actual. So each year the values of the properties go up, that therefore increases your property tax value and revenue as well. The other large difference prior year to current year is the other revenues. So current year was 7.7 million, prior year was 3 million. In this bucket of other revenues includes your investment returns, the adjustments to fair market value, and as you know, at December 31st, 2023, the market was doing really well, and therefore you had a pretty sizable increase in your investments as of year end. Next page is the general fund expenditures and transfers out, broken down by the main categories, main functions of the county. The largest being general government. This kind of encapsulates everything that doesn't fit into one of the other lines. This is the treasurer, the clerk, the finance, that type of thing. About 10.7 million in actual expenditures compared to 12.4 budgeted. Next line is public safety. So this is your sheriff and your jail and that type of thing. 10.4 million under budget as well. Very comparable to the prior year. So you kind of expected you're going to have more costs. A lot of that might have to do with your staffing levels throughout the county and that type of thing. Next page looks at your change in fund balance. So the general fund revenues minus the general fund expenditures equals a change in fund balance. The county had budgeted for a decrease in fund balance of 4.6 million. The actual actually increased about $5.2 million. So had a sizable increase to the fund balance for 12/31/23 compared to budget, as well as compared to the prior year. You can see in the far right column, the general fund had a decrease about $2 million. So this all has to do with the revenues that come in and the costs that go out each year. And of course, they're going to fluctuate significantly from year to year. Next item is the pension trust fund. So the county has a single employer or multiple employer pension plan. This page and the next few pages are going to include the entire plan. So it's going to include the Bay Area NAC behavioral health information as well, because they are part of this plan. So these assets are divided between the county and Bay Area Health. So just keep that in mind on the next few pages. 12/31/23. The plan had about $403 million in assets. Most of that is in investments. Pretty large increase from 22 of $377 million. Again, that had to do with the timing of the market. At 2022, the market was down. 2023, market was up. So you're seeing a significant increase in the value of your investments. All these funds are restricted and can't be used for anything other than the pension plan and the benefits to the retirees. Next page looks at the revenue coming into the plan as well as the expenses, costs going out. You can see there the net investment income. The plan had just under $45 million increase in their investments for fair market value change compared to a $72 million loss in 2022. Contributions were about $4 million in 23. And the benefit payments going out, as well as a few, some administrative costs, were just over $23 million. So this plan saw an increase in net position of $25.8 million to get to the $402 million that's restricted for pension benefits. We'll look at just the county's portion on a future slide, but that is the plan in total. The next page looks at the retiree health care, or the VEBA. Same type of information. This plan had $93.4 million in assets, almost all in investments, compared to $80.9 million in 2022. Again, this money is all restricted for retiree health care and can't be used for any other purpose. So you can see on this page the net investment gain of $10.8 million for the 2023 compared to a $13.3 million loss in 2022. Again, this is all based on timing of the market and what's happening in the market at 12/31. Employer contributions of just over $6 million in each year. And then deductions of $4.4 million in '23 and $4.6 million in 2022. So now we're going to look at just the county and their component units. This does not include Bay Area or Bay Aranac Health. This is the county, road commission, Department of Water and Sewer, and that type of thing. So this is just what's in the county's audit report. So you can see this, the actuary does the measurement as of December 31st, 2022, as you can see on the screen here. So that's why it looks like it's a year behind, but that's the year that the actuary does the calculation. And the actuary will determine what the total pension liability is. So what is the expected cost for the entire plan through everybody's lifespan that's a participant in the plan. So they estimated that liability to be almost $284 million at December 31st, 2022. The amount of investment set aside by the county and its component units to fund this liability is the planned net position you can see in the next column of $312 million. So what that means is the plan is overfunded by $28.7 million. Okay? So about 110% funded. But keep in mind, this is at one point in time, and a lot of the fluctuations you see are due to market returns. And this changes on a daily basis. This is just measured at one point in time. So the actuary determines what the required contributions are by the county. And for December 31st, 2023, the county was required to contribute just under $800,000. The county actually contributed $1.2 million. Now you may ask, why are they contributing more when the plan is overfunded? Well, the plan is overfunded in total, but there are some departments that aren't overfunded. So some departments have a contribution requirement, other departments don't. So therefore, some departments are still trying to catch up and get fully funded. So that's why you see that the county's actual contributions exceed what was required. Does that make sense? Okay. The retiree health care, again, the actuary determined this based on 12/31/22. The total estimated liability of just over $76 million. The amount of investments set aside to pay that liability is just over $58 million. So this plan is about 76.5% funded with a remaining liability of $17.8 million. And again, there are some departments that are better funded than others. And the actuary does their calculation based on the actual department and the employees and retirees in each department. So required contributions to this plan were $7.5 million. The county only contributed just over $6 million. Again, the required contribution ensures the plan is fully funded. But as you see at many other municipalities in the state of Michigan, they don't fully fund their retiree health care plan. You guys being at 76% funded is very well funded for a retiree health care plan. So just because you see this one is underfunded, it's not underfunded. It's not fully funded at this point in time. It's still doing very well in progress and ensuring the benefits are there when the retiree isn't able to claim the benefits. Questions on that? No? Okay.
A question.
Yes, sir.
So the percentage for, I hear 60% or something, there's some certain numbers that are trigger numbers. And is that still the case, like 60%? If you're above that, you're
from the state monitoring?
Yeah.
Yes. So
yeah.
The state has set up guidelines. I believe it's 60% funded for a pension plan. And 40% funded for a retiree health care plan. The counties far exceed both of those, and if a municipality gets below that, the state requires a corrective action plan to ensure that it gets funded back to those minimum of those levels.
What is the percentage for the retiree plan, I guess?
76.6%.
Okay.
Yeah, well above the 40% required by the state.
Yep. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? No? Okay. As part of receiving federal awards, the federal government requires the county to have what's called a single audit done. This is slightly different than the financial statement audit I just went through. The single audit looks at compliance with the federal awards that were granted to the county. The federal government says, here's a bucket of money, but you can only spend it on X, Y, and Z. The federal government wants to know that the county complied with that. So that's what a single audit does. So during the year of December 31st, 2023, the county expended $11.4 million in federal awards. There's a matrix that the federal government provides to the auditors to determine which programs need to be audited. So this year, the county is having the ARPA, or Coronavirus State and Local Recovery Funds, audited, as well as the Medicaid cluster. This audit is still in progress. The financial statement audit was due to the state June 30, which was submitted to the state before June 30. This audit's not required to the federal government until September 30th, so we're still working on that. We hope in the next 30 days or so that one will be completed as well. So as we go through the audit process, we look at the internal controls, so the checks and balances within the county. We did have a few minor items that we noted throughout the process that just wanted to note. These are just opportunities for improving your internal control, not that there's a significant deficiency somewhere in the process or what you're doing. It's just, hey, probably could, maybe do something a little bit better, a little bit different here. Here's some ideas. So one was there were some audit adjustments required. Again, nothing of significance. It's just need to make sure things are reconciled to underlying support at year end before the audit starts. One of the new standards as auditors we had to follow this year looked at the information technology system and the environment around IT. And so we had a comment about that of identifying who are the users, what roles and access rights do they have, and that type of thing. So we have a comment related to that for the county to consider. The employee retirement census data. So the county maintains the census, which is the list of all participants, their demographic data, and that type of thing. And we did note one instance where a date was incorrect. Again, it didn't have a significant impact on anything, but we want to make sure that that census is correct because that's what the actuary uses to do their calculation and estimate of the liability. So we want to ensure that that data is as accurate as possible. And then there were, at the library, there were some journal entries where we didn't note any review and approval. So one of the keystones to the internal control is to ensure you have those checks and balances. Somebody's doing the work, somebody's double checking the work, and that there's documentation to support that. So again, very minor things, but they were items that came up through the audit process. The last slide, there is some upcoming changes to accounting standards that the county will see over the next few years. The biggest one is probably going to be GASB 101, compensated absences in the top right corner. That's going to change or potentially change how the county accrues the unused sick and vacation time for their employees throughout the year. So that's something we'll work with the finance department on to ensure that they're up to speed and ready to implement that for December 31st, 2024. So that is all I had for today. Happy to answer any questions or look at anything specific you might have.
No.
Everything down?
Ready. Motion to receive.
Support.
Further discussion? I'll just say it looks like a good report to me, but yeah.
I want to thank you for the update on our audit. And would you say the Bay County is in good shape financially? And I want to, if you agree, I certainly want to extend my gratitude on behalf of the residents of Bay County and the Commission to Shauna Walraven, the Finance Director, and her team, Kim Presnitz, and the entire team in the Finance Department. We think they do a great job, and each year they're accredited, as they have been for many years, with keeping very detailed records and always in compliance with the regulations and rules.
Yes, they've done a great job for you, as they always have over the years. They've kept things in great order. The county's doing well, and the audit report supports that.
Thank you.
Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Number B, applications for appointment for District 7 Bay County Commissioner, unexpired term expiring 12/31/24. We need a motion to receive the applicants and make the appointment.
Move to receive the applicants as submitted.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We do have one applicant who is an employee of Bay County. So I would ask our attorney, Amber, if she would make a ruling on that.
Yes, we have reviewed whether or not there's a conflict that would specifically prohibit any of the applicants from appointment to the county commissioner. We did make a determination that one applicant would not be eligible for appointment unless they were to first basically submit their resignation of their employment with Bay County. That would be Daniel Martin. This is due to MCL 46.30A and MCL 15.182, which is a prohibition for incompatible public offices. Since Mr. Martin is currently paid a salary from funds that are actually budgeted by the Board of Commissioners, that would be a prohibited public office, and as such, he would not be eligible for the appointment.
Are you okay with that? Okay.
Yeah.
So we have the names, you've seen their applications. Does anybody have any questions for any of the applicants? We haven't done that before, but our legal opinion was that maybe you want to ask questions of any of them, or do you have enough information on their resumes that you're ready to cast your vote?
I think we can vote.
Okay. We talked about other different methods of voting, but I think we decided on forced voting, which is you pick one name. Each person gets one vote. And we'll see how it plays out and then decide what we do from there. So Casey, would you be their tabulator? Okay, yeah. You can pick whatever order you want to call a name. Or you want to call a name? Yeah, go ahead.
Last time we left off, so we'll start with Millette.
Jamie Johnson.
Herrick.
Johnson.
Radke. Johnson. Nemec.
Seaman.
Benajak.
Seaman.
Bigick.
Seaman.
So 3 for Johnson, 3 for Seaman.
So it's a 3-3 tie, so we need to continue the voting here. So let's call the roll again. Yep.
Make it clear to those who have several friends vying for this. And I was with Commissioner Nemec and her husband at the Cheese Festival Parade, and he was wondering, could I vote to break a tie? And as you know, I cannot. I don't have a vote. I'm not a commissioner, but in the event of a 3-3 tie, I can't be a deciding factor. But I wanted to make that clear to everyone. Unlike the city commissioner, where the mayor can break the tie.
Thank you. Okay, call the roll. Yeah, you can erase, yeah.
Okay, we'll start with Herrick.
Johnson.
Radke. Johnson. Nemec.
Seaman.
Benajak.
Seaman.
Millette.
Johnson.
Bigick.
Johnson.
So we have 4 for Johnson, 2 for Samian.
We have Jamie Johnson as the appointee. So,
Motion to appoint. Motion.
yes. Motion to appoint Jamie Johnson would be in order.
I'll move that.
Support.
Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And now I believe we need to take a break.
Motion to recess.
Yes, recess and swear in our new commissioner.
For how many minutes, Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
For how many minutes?
How many
Tom,
minutes?
how many minutes?
10 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
5 minutes, okay. Our clerk will talk fast. So we've got one page done, we've got a few more to go. Committee of the Whole, Commissioner Benajak.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Resolution number 2024-102,
Did he get sworn in already?
Annual Implementation Plan. Oh. Okay, AIP for year 2025. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2024-103, DFA 25-09003 agreement, home aid position. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2024-104, MCO's CPE pilot program grant. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2024-105, CPBC agreement for the year 2024-2025. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion?
Oh, sorry.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2024-106, memorandum of understanding, MOU for Midland County Health Department for reciprocal medical director coverage. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2024-107, Tricor Laboratory Services Agreement. I move this resolution.
Support. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2024-108, purchase of military service time from Volunteer Bay County Commissioner. I move this resolution.
Support.
And I will abstain for some reason. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2024-109, bid award for forensic pathologist. I move this resolution.
Support. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2024-110, bid award for ISD managed detection and response service to people-driven technology. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2024-111, Bay Metro Agreement. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2024-112, payables. I move this resolution.
Support. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Commissioner Benacek.
Sure.
We did not have the meeting there, so we have the Board of Commissioners. I'm going to ask Commissioner Herring to do that with the two additions at the end.
Correct. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Resolution number 2024-113, the reports of the county executive for June. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2024-114, budget adjustment of $18,000 for the purchase of a utility cart. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2024-115, the ARPA carryover funding from Region 7 Area Agency on Aging, a move of $18,573. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2024-116, the pool millage ballot question. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion, there's a hard copy somewhere of the resolution here. If you want to take a quick look at it, this will be the language that'll be going on the ballot. It's a 0.35 mil over 20 years.
So it's 35 cents per thousand.
Yeah. Any questions about the millage vote? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2024-117, the mosquito control millage renewal. Mosquito control millage renewal, yeah. I move this resolution.
Support.
This is a renewal of 0.55, and that's the language that will be on the ballot. Any other questions?
Nope.
Good.
Rebecca's here. I'm very grateful for not having an increase. She's been doing a great job in her department by utilizing the funds that come in every year. So thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you. Plus, we're starting to see Eastern Equine and maybe some of the other ones later on, so that's good not to have that around. So, thank you. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2024-118, the golf course food service contract. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion, anybody here from the golf course? I don't see our- Okay.
Stacy.
You are. Sorry.
This is a request to enter into a one-season agreement for an independent contractor to operate the snack shop. The health department has been in and determined the snack shop is still a viable place to do that. They'll obviously have to do food licenses and follow all codes and regulations. This has been something we have entertained quite a few times since we stopped operating the snack shop back in 2013. So it's a good opportunity for us to get that service for the golfers with no cost to Bay County.
Any questions?
If I could just add something. This is a request the golfers have wanted for a long time. In the last 2 years, Kristen had someone lined up to do it, and then they changed their mind at the last minute. They don't want alcohol sold at the golf course because they like to bring their own. However, they would like to have a hot dog or hamburger or some type of snack out there to abet their hunger when they're out there playing 18 holes. So if the board could approve, it would be an improvement.
Will there be alcohol included?
Not at the sale at the snack shop. No,
Right.
by law, we're not able to sell at the county-run golf course, and so golfers get to bring their own coolers.
Yeah. Do we have a motion? Do we have a motion? Leslie?
Yes.
Okay. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2024-119, elections coordinator hired at 3-year rate of $27.65 an hour. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? This is a little higher rate, but maybe I'll have the clerk explain why she needs this person.
Sure. The person who I've offered the position to is currently a Bay County employee already making the 3-year rate. So if they accept the offer in my department, they would have a pay decrease to go back down to the higher department. They wouldn't keep those steps.
And we have some elections coming up here pretty soon. Any more questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
That is all from the Board of Commissioners, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Herrick. And County Executive.
Thank you. I know it's been a good meeting and a lot of discussion and a lot of public input. I'll be brief. I'll just say that Kristen and I and Jeremy and Dan met with a couple of golfers who had expressed what I'd heard for some time about the kind of fact that because of the soil conditions under our Bay County golf course, it's mostly clay. And while that benefited us by getting a 33 million gallon pond for irrigation purposes and also about $100,000 for the clay to address the Carn-Weddock contamination issue that we sold that to Fisher Contracting, which was used in the decommission of the Carn-Weddock plant and the addressing of the contaminated soil at that site. And we have a situation where some of our equipment is getting so old that it requires Jeremy's attention almost full-time, but not quite, in terms of trying to keep that equipment running. And there are some ideas and concepts we discussed about addressing when we get a heavy rain, which we've had a lot of this summer, that we could address that with a couple of unique kind of concepts to address that flooding issue on the back nine, short of a full-scale tiling, which would tear up the course and have to shut it down for some time. So I just kind of wanted to let you know that if you could put that on the radar, we may be looking at, a way to try to resolve that issue. Especially our more senior golfers out there, it's important to them because they mostly use the carts, and the carts can't really, when the fairways are flooded and the greens, you can't really take the carts down the fairways. So it's an issue that we'll be trying to address and resolve in more of a short-term, solution, and I think it would solve it long-term. However, just wanted to share that with the board and say it's been busy, as we know, a lot of festivals, a lot of parades going on around Bay County, and we're glad to hear the audit results that we're in great shape financially and don't have any concerns on that front. But that's all I have, Mr. Chair. And also congratulations to our friend Jamie Johnson on his appointment to succeed the great Dennis Poyer, who unfortunately we lost too soon.
Thank you. Commissioner comments. Any commissioner comments? Unfinished business? New business? Public input? Second chance for public input. Don't see anybody jumping up. Second chance, third chance. Closed public input. Miscellaneous. Announcements. The announcements. I have appointments here. Oh, yes, we,
Oh, Matt wants.
I have one announcement.
Oh, okay,
We're
sorry.
still doing empty the shelter at the animal shelter. $50 a dog, $25 a cat. It's been going pretty good. It started last week. It'll go to July 31st. We had a lot of cats get adopted and a few dogs, so we'd like to keep that going to the 31st. So please, if anybody would like to adopt a dog or cat, please come see us, or a kitten. Thank you.
And if I could make one more comment, I intended to introduce, ask Matt to give us an update on that, but my office has been receiving a lot of compliments from the community about even a Great Dane was out in the field, and then we've had, was a Mastiff or
Aussie?
An Aussie. We've had these exotic dogs that have been very hard to catch. They're very intelligent. They're roaming around the community, and they recovered them, and they're being put up for adoption. But I've heard received a lot of emails and calls about the great job that our animal control team, Matt personally, as well as our animal control officers are doing in terms of responding to concerns about the public in terms of some of these animals that just seem to be wandering around. And we hope that this will not be an ongoing process where we think people are dropping off animals and just leaving them. I don't know how they have the heart to do that if they're pets, but somehow these animals are homeless, but they're being recovered, and sometimes they're quite a challenge, right, Pat?
Yeah, I can't thank my team enough. We have a great team. Some great things have been happening. Can't thank them all enough.
Thank you.
One thing, I just almost slipped my mind, but the Bay County is sending a baseball team to the World Series, and the good news about it is that there's a representative from every high school in Bay County. The Senate has players going, so you have Garber, Central, All Saints, Western, Pinconning, and Glen. So there's kids from every school, and that's down in Marion, Illinois, which is a long ways. It's like 9 hours away. So, and their first game is against the Czech Republic. So it'd be kind of interesting. So,
Thank you.
But that's it.
Any more announcements? I have appointments. 2024 appointments. October, Land Bank Authority, 1 3-year term expiring. Bay County Department of Human Services, 1 at-large 3-year term. That's a governor's appointment. December, Bay County Veterans Affairs Committee, 1 4-year term. Department on Aging Advisory Committee, 4 2-year terms expiring. Districts 2, 4, 6, and 1 at large. Do we need a closed session?
We do, Mr. Chair. I would request a motion to go into closed session pursuant to MCL 15.2681E to discuss settlement of an unfair labor practice claim with the nurses group, and pursuant to MCL 15.2681H to discuss a legal opinion regarding waiver of conflict to represent Land Bank and Bay County.
Motion to go in closed session.
Support.
We need to take a roll call vote at this time.
And Mr. Chair, Weston, I would request that the treasurer also remain in for closed session.
Chairman Renberg.
As well as Personnel Director, Finance Director, County Executive, Recreation and Services Director, and the board's administrative staff.
And was there another closed session item?
No, that was a motion for 2. Yep.
Okay, yep. Okay.
Radke? Yes. Johnson?
Yes.
Nemec?
Yes.
Benajak?
Yes.
Millet?
Yes.
Herrick?
Yes.
Begic?
Yes. Motion carries. Now in closed session. Hooked up, yes. Okay.
Mr. Chair, I would request a motion from a board member to follow the recommendation of Corporation Counsel and approve the proposed settlement discussed in closed session, as well as any necessary budget adjustments.
I'll move that.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I would request a second motion as it relates to the waiver issue to follow the recommendation of Corporation Counsel and to agree to waive any potential conflict of interest for Corporation Counsel to represent both the land bank and the county as it relates to the community improvement grant.
So moved. Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Chair, could I make one last comment?
Okay, but
Just Weston is here, and I want to say, as the chair of the land bank, I served on the land bank for several years, and we had a great team there and a great board, but we had very little activity, since you've taken the chairmanship, we really have seen a lot of activity and aggressive recruitment of resources to help clean up some of these blighted properties across Bay County, and I want to publicly thank you, Weston, for the dynamic leadership you're showing on the land bank, as well as our treasurer, and all those responsibilities.
plus the Tim Hortons looks beautiful, except they need a little landscaping and then it'll be good to go. So I guess it's open. Somebody said they went there and had some breakfast there, and so.
Yeah, and that's a brownfield redevelopment authority, which we have a lot of.
300,000.
People, our commissioners and stuff on, and that's the first project. We have many more to come. Yeah.
So,
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yeah.